Hi everyone, this is Christine back in the Potli kitchen, and today we're gonna make sweet and spicy roasted Brussels sprouts. So what I love about this recipe is that it's super easy. It's essentially just chopping up and roasting Brussels sprouts and then seasoning it with a sauce that we make with Potli honey and Potli Sriracha. So first things first, I've got Brussels sprouts here. I've rinsed them. And then I'm going to cut them into quarters. So the way that I like to do that is just a half and then another half. But what's important about when you're cutting Brussels sprouts is that you've got to essentially peel off the last layer because that's kind of where all the dirt is hiding. So the stems should partially stay intact, and that's what kind of keeps the structure of the Brussels sprout, even when you do cut it into quarters. But you do want to peel those outer leaves. And then I'm going to put them on a tray that I've lined with parchment paper. And then I'm going to toss them with olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic salt. A way that I used to actually do all the tossing that I really liked was to stuff it all into a Ziploc, and then I would shake it all up. So that works well as well, but I'm just gonna get my hands dirty and toss them all in this pan this time. I love how Brussels sprouts in like the past decade have gotten like a major rebranding. Isn't it funny how vegetables do that sometimes? Because before they were kind of like that icky vegetable that nobody wanted, and then for some reason, like if I had to put a year to it, I would say like 2012. Brussels sprouts were cool again, and people were tossing them around with bacon and pancetta, and they were sexy all of a sudden. So you know what, I'm very happy for the humble Brussels sprout. So I've finally finished cutting all the Brussels sprouts, as you can see from our reject pile of leaves. What I'm gonna do now is just season it. I have salt, pepper, and garlic salt here. And you can be pretty generous. Brussels sprouts need a lot of salt to really get that nice flavor. So my biggest fear is over-salting, but what I've learned from experience is that with Brussels sprouts, sometimes it's better to over-salt. So, doing that. And then we're gonna put our cannabis-infused olive oil. You can use our hemp-infused olive oil as well. You can use your own olive oil, but I think this kind of just makes it all better. What I love about our cannabis-infused extra virgin olive oil is that it's cold-pressed and delicious single origin Arbequina olive oil, and because it's made of THCA, you can heat it in order to activate the THC. So this will have a little bit of a punch to it, but we're going to roast these guys at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. And halfway through, or not halfway through, about 30 minutes in, so you kind of want this all to marinate for the last 10 minutes, but 30 minutes in, I'm going to pour a mixture over the Brussels sprouts. So what I have here is actually 2 ounces of our honey. You might recognize the jar. We've repurposed it from our hemp CBD honey, but this is equal parts CBD and THC honey. And what I'm going to add to it is our THC Sriracha. So that is really what's going to add the flavor to this entire dish and make it such that it is spicy and sweet, and also very much medicated. It smells so good. Like, I love the mixture of honey and Sriracha together. It's just perfect over everything. I'll like drizzle this mixture over avocado toast in the morning. It's just the perfect sweet and salty. So about 30 minutes after it's roasted, I'm going to toss it all in this sauce and then let it bake again all the way through. And yeah, these babies are about to go into the oven now.
I'm not Chris, I'm Felicity, and I have jumped back in here. She is catching flights, not feelings. And I am here to do the very, very last step, and that is to add this mixture of Sriracha and honey onto this perfectly toasted, super pretty golden brown Brussels sprouts. Ooh, look at that color. The green and the red really contrast, looks really pretty. And wow, it's just such a gorgeous color. And you toss it. Does anybody know if the THC honey was used or the CBD honey? Are we going to like just be super duper glazed. But if you don't feel like getting high for dinner, just use the CBD, you know? That's what the CBD is there for, to give you a little extra sense of balance after your hard day at work. All right, and there you have it. Infused Brussels sprouts.